First up, outgoing Vice President Hamid Ansari has said there is a feeling of unease and a sense of insecurity among the Muslims in India. In his interview to Rajya Sabha TV before demitting office, Ansari also said that he had flagged the issue of rising intolerance with Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his cabinet colleagues. Hamid Ansari's comments came in the backdrop of rise in cases of cow vigilantism and lynching of Muslims in the country. The outgoing president also, in fact, the Vice President also added and said that he shared the view of many that intolerance is rising. On a question on why he thinks Indian values were suddenly breaking down, Ansari said that India is a plural society for centuries, not for 70 years, and has lived in a certain ambience of acceptance. Ansari's 5-year term is ending today. We have our political editor Karthikeya Sharma also joining us to discuss more on this. Karthikeya, this certainly is in sync with what the outgoing President Pranab Mukherjee had earlier raised, that rising intolerance in India due to cow vigilantism is certainly a concern. See,
the issue here is that the Vice President, a day before he demits the office, has spoken on an issue which has become worrying, an issue which has become politically contested, an issue which concerns lynching, an issue which is about the fundamental right what a person can have, eat, issue about tradecraft, issue whether Indian nationalism is centered around an idea of an animal, or is that animal part of a political project which is post 1947 or pre 1947. So, you know, this is a very complex and nuanced issue. Is it about a different sort of nationalism which is being espoused? In 40s and 50s, you had a different sense of nationalism which was there, which was slightly more civic and constitutional in nature, because India being a new democracy but an old civilization, two worlds were clashing simultaneously. But today, the debate has moved to the issue of cultural nationalism. Vice President earlier has said that the cultural nationalism creates a space for an arrogant patriotism. So he has taken a position against cultural nationalism. The ruling dispensation, Bharatiya Janata Party, has rooted itself on the issue of cultural nationalism, and which has taken place post-Vemula and post-JNU debate. So I think what the Vice President has done is that he has participated in a debate which is an idea about the nation, which is an idea about the country, idea about the way of what nationalism should be worn by an Indian. Because there is a difference between patriotism and nationalism. And those are two very distinct academic terms. You can be patriotic, but nationalism can acquire different connotations, because, academically, when you say that ethnicities, when they acquire a larger sentiment for autonomy, they become nationalities. But patriotism is love for the land where you live in. So I think being an academician, a person who spent half his life in foreign services, serving abroad, he is trying to articulate a position whereby a level of violence has increased in the society over the issues of what is sacred to this country and what is not sacred. And he has done that, but the consequences will be political in nature. And I'm sure that Mr. Hamid Ansari will not be left untouched after this speech.
Absolutely, Karthikeya. Of course, they'll be following political statements also in that. But this has not just been a part of public discourse. It, in fact, has been part of the political discourse. We hear similar statements from the outgoing president and then the vice president. What sort of a significance does this have at this point in time? Both of them remitting office, making somewhat similar statements.
Well, Jessica, I would beg to differ a bit. This issue has been part of both public, political and private discourse. These are not the new things, but with the mandate which the Bharatiya Janata Party got, it allowed gravity to certain issues which were marginal to the political narrative. For example, the sort of debate which we see today in Kannur in terms of killing of RSS or CPM activists, it's not a new phenomena. You just have to go through all the Malayalam dailies. This has been happening for 40 years. But BJP wants to use this particular phenomenon of high, I would say, mindless violence in Kannur to project itself as a main opposition party, expand in the southern part. So similarly, when Hamid Ansari is speaking on intolerance, lynching, He is not speaking about something which has not been around. He is speaking about an issue which has not only gained traction, but has the capacity to destabilize past 40-50 years of cultural and political constructs. And I don't take a position on that when I say that, because any change, for a good or better, is still a change.
All right, Karthik, we'll leave it at that. Thank you for joining us on the program and giving us those details and that analysis.